The number one source of friction in your engine is not what you think. Piston rings rubbing against the cylinder walls generate more friction than any other part of the engine. More friction and temperature means more wear and less horsepower. Fortunately, the team at Total Seal knows how to reduce friction and wear through innovative piston ring design. If it takes a piston, Total Seal can build a better ring.
For more than a decade, FTI has strived to become the leader in the aftermarket performance transmission and converter industry. We've joined forces with McLeod Driveline Components under the leadership of Top Fuel Funny Car pilot Paul Lee, and now have a larger distribution network, more resources, and more power. Come see us in the pits and ask how you can join the FTI family. It's not cheating, it is the competitive edge.
This is WFO Radio.
Hey everybody, Joe Castello back, WFO Radio, NHRA Nitro. A massive show, a huge show as we get ready for the 2026 season, the 75th season of the National Hot Rod Association. Two-time, back-to-back, funny car world champion Austin Prock will join us for the first time as a Ford driver for Bob Tasca Racing. It is the story that has dominated the offseason. Everybody has wanted to know the answer to every single question. We are going to get as many as is possible on this show. We ask you to repost, retweet, cut and paste, whatever you want to do. All fans of NHRA drag racing, you're going to get the answers to the questions that you have on this show. It has been amazing to watch the big Ford announcement. He was a big part of it. And now we are going to dive in. Austin is in the ready room. We're going to speak with him momentarily. I want to shout out to the people who make it possible for me to do this and speak with drivers like Bernie's Speed Shop, like HusseyPerformance.net. We'll go in detail on all of these guys. Larice Motorsports Insurance will go into detail. Jesse Converters later on in the show. But it is now time to reach out to the two-time world champ and connect with Austin Prock. Austin, welcome back to WFO Radio. How are you?
Thank you. I appreciate for you having me on, and I'm doing great. You know, busy as ever, but busy's good.
All right. Before the show, see, there's a zillion questions, right? There's a zillion questions because this story, PRI, everybody, we're hearing, we're thinking, and we waited to the big Ford announcement for clarification. It is now public. So talk about the radio silence that you had to endure waiting, knowing what had happened, where you went, the decision you made.
Yeah, it feels good to be above ground. You know, I felt like I was kept captive there for a while, and I wasn't getting to, let the world know what was going on, so to finally be back out in the open and, kind of put my race car hat back on, definitely feels good. It was a long time coming, and, we've been busy though. I've been at the shop 7 days a week, grinding on this Ford, trying to get it ready to go to Gainesville. So, it's good to be above water again. And this is my first week of media, and it's jam packed. I just got off about an hour Zoom call of a press conference. I got you. I'm on WFO now, and heading to New York City tonight to go to the Vice TV premiere for the NHRA docu-series Chasing Speed. Back home, and then off again to St. Louis. So definitely busy. It's a tough business balancing being a crew guy and a race car driver, but I'm always up for a challenge.
All right, so much to unpack. Vice, Chasing Speed. Today is Tuesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday. It premieres Wednesday on Vice. Everybody, this benefits everybody in the sport. This event benefits all of drag racing. This benefits people who like cars and hot rodding. You're going to ring the bell at the New York Stock Exchange tomorrow morning with Doug Coletta, 75th season of the NHRA. All of that going on, but let's hone in on the Vice show just for a second, because we really need our fan base to push this thing, man, to watch it, to be watch partying, to tell their friends. What do you have to say about it? What do you know about Chasing Speed on Vice?
Well, I've seen a few snippets, and it looks like they've done an outstanding job creating this show. The camera crew was great to work with, throughout the race season. and they're very talented individuals. So I'm looking forward to seeing the first episode myself. Like I said, I've only seen little snippets, probably about what the public's seen, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's going to be a game changer for NHRA drag racing. You see what these docu-series have done for other sports, other motorsports, and we're crossing our fingers that it has the same impact on NHRA drag racing, which my bet is it will. Getting behind the scenes, seeing drivers away from the racetrack, outside of their element, and getting even deeper into their element. So it's definitely going to be exciting, and I can't wait to get to New York City tomorrow.
It's going to be great. We need you out there. Fresh, young face, aggressive athlete. I'm super excited. We're going to get into all that. The chat section is absolutely blowing up. We'll get into it. Like Frank Hawley reposting. Thank you, Frank. I don't think it's actually Frank, right? But maybe it is. He's out there training.
I bet it's Frank. He's up with the times.
Let's do it, right? Let's do it. But all right, this is also WFO. We got to dig into some of the tough questions. You're two-time Funny Car World Champion. We all saw John Force hug your neck and declare that you would replace him. You won the championship. You move on. So you understand how that's religion to some people. It's emotional to some people. So this is a chance to speak to everybody. Why did you make this move?
Yeah, it's emotional for me as well. Our whole family. This is a big change for our lifestyles. And where we're working. Like I said, we have a lot of work ahead of us. My dad was at John Force Racing, I think, for 25 years, and I'd been working there since high school. So to be out in the real world, essentially, you kind of live in your own bubble over there because you do everything in house. To be out in the real world is interesting. It's a little bit scary, but we're working through it and making new relationships and different parts manufacturers and etc. So it definitely wasn't on my bingo card. I had no idea this was going to happen, but life's a crazy world. Things change and sometimes stuff happens and you hope it's for the best. So I'm excited for this new opportunity. I'm excited to race with my family, and this was the opportunity that we had to keep my family together racing. And that's what's most important to me. And, I got my team together with me as well. So, it's the same pack of people, just in a different place. And, we're working hard to make the best of it. That we're going to get this Ford in tip top shape and go out to Gainesville and, try and win the race and go after another championship. 3 in a row sounds fantastic.
And you just posted on your Instagram today, getting the backup car ready. You know that you've got a really rare opportunity to win 3 consecutive Funny Car championships. That's something that really just, it doesn't happen. But when the rumor mill started talking about you going somewhere, and we all, I want to say we all did a great job keeping the secret, right? Waiting for the announcement. But the rumors of it being Bob Tasca, there was a lot of thought about, 2-car team, 1-car team. So you're the first opportunity I have to ask, is Bob retired? Is Bob coming back? Is he just letting you in his car because it's available and then we'll get a second car? What can you share about that? Because as much as I think it's exciting that you're going to be racing, I also know there are a lot of Bob Tasca fans. I'm one of them. I think he's a great personality, a character, representing the Northeast. So is Tasca on the sidelines permanently or is this temporary? What can you share?
Well, Bob loves driving a Nitro funny car, but his career was coming closer to an end. I wouldn't say he was ready to get out of the seat, but this opportunity, was proposed to him, and he thought it was the best opportunity for his race team to go out there and succeed. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate what Bob has done for my family and for my race team. And we're really looking forward to this adventure. But our goal is to have 2 Ford funny cars out there. Right now, it's just not possible. We're scrounging just to get our race car ready to go. Because we're changing a lot. There's a few things that are staying the same, and one of them is the Ford body, and the other is there's nitromethane in the tank. So everything else is getting revamped, redone, reordered, and we're just kind of in a holding pattern right now of getting race car parts to assemble this thing to go to Gainesville and test. But I would love to see Bob back in the seat. I'd love to have him as my teammate, and that's our goal. We're going to work hard to find funding and start putting this forward in the winner circle and let everything else try and come to us. So we're actively working on that, and we're going to make it happen one of these days. So for now, I'll be, in the driver's seat on Sundays, but I guaranteed Bob that he could drive this Prock Rocket on Mondays when we're testing, because we're going to do an awful lot of testing. And I got all his components in the same spot as he had them, and changing a few things for myself, but we'll be able to strap him in there and let him feel what it's like to stand on the gas in the Prock Rocket. I know he's been dreaming of that, pretty much his whole career.
I like what I'm hearing. I want to see Bob out there. I want to gain a car, but I also understand everything that you just said. You mentioned a couple of times already, you're a crew guy, right? Like, what are your responsibilities in addition to driving? And it's a family team effort. So I know you're not above diving in wherever you're needed, but you're also needed to be the celebrity face of the team, right? You're the two-time world champ for NHRA. So what do you have to do? What are your responsibilities as a crewman?
Yeah, right now I've been going through the superchargers, the injectors, and everything else to go along with it, doing a little fabricating, some machining. I can get dirty in the shop just about in any position. So we need all hands on deck right now. There's plenty to do and definitely not enough time. I've been working 7 days a week, and I took 3 days off to go get engaged to my fiance, Caitlin, in New York City, actually. And other than that, I've been 7 days a week in the race shop. So plenty to do. And this is my first week trying to balance being a race car driver and being a crew guy. So, it's definitely taken away some of my time from being at the race shop, but it's part of my job, and I can definitely balance both. I just won't be as efficient in the race shop. So as soon as I'm off on this phone call, right back to the race shop, working a few hours, catching a late night flight to New York City, and working over there for a few days, back home for a few hours in the race shop, and off to St. Louis. So it's definitely a busy week for me, but this is the life I chose. This is the career I chose, and I love every second of it.
Wow. New York Stock Exchange tomorrow. Everybody watch CNBC 9 a.m. When they get ready to ring the bell. I have to ask you about this is, you left as a two-time champ. And so this run here, you've got to be feeling a little extra, because you don't want to move and then break the string, so do you feel yourself extra motivated because you made this change? Some don't like, we'll talk about that. Some might say risky, like if the switch comes with something negative, so talk about how that motivates you.
Yeah, I'm always motivated. My family and this race team is always motivated to become better, fine tune every aspect of this race car, and go out there and try and compete for wins in a world championship. So we as a team, as a family, we wouldn't have made this decision if we thought that it was going to be a negative reaction in the trend that we've had. Is it going to be a lot more work? Absolutely. But, that's our job. That's what we love to do. We love the challenge, and we're going to have to figure out how to make this Ford rip like, our car did over there. So, but the main components are all still, with us. The people that you surround yourself with is what makes this happen. And, I'm still surrounded by, the best team in the world. So, we're hard at work. We're putting in the effort. We're putting in the hours, and, we're going to build one bad, fast Ford Mustang dark horse.
That is exciting. See, this guy is attacking me for letting you dodge a question when I said, why did you make the move? I don't think you dodged the question. You said it was so that you and your team and your family can race together much into the future. I don't know what he's attacking me. The why, I'm sure it was a pretty good deal too.
Yeah, I can restate it. This was the opportunity for me to continue racing with my family. And that's loud and clear. I want to race with my family. And if you have a problem with that, that's on you. But I'm going to stand by my family. I'm going to stand by this race team, and I'm going to enjoy every second of turning on win lights.
Thank you for addressing that. There's one thing I want to go at these people and think we're getting to the bottom of it. All right. So here's a big deal. kind of might take on the black hat bad guy role amongst the John Force loyalists. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody's allowed to have an opinion, and opinions are like blank and some of them stink. So, everybody's, welcome to have their own opinion. I have my own opinion. I don't have to share it. Some people think they do have to share it. My grandmother always taught me, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And, I live and die by that. So, I'm excited for the opportunity. I'm excited to race with my family. I'm excited to race for Bob Tasca. He's given us a great opportunity to go out there and succeed. We're going to have all the tooling that we need, all the parts that we need. And, we have some great partners to back that. So I'm looking forward to the 2026 season. This is another part of my dream, another part of my journey, and we're going to make the best of it.
All right. I don't want to keep you too long, but like Derail says, like, can you talk about how this came about, right? Like, that's the interesting stuff. I want to preface what I'm saying by, I love this. This is what makes Formula One. This is why sports talk radio is on in every city in America. The intrigue of the maneuvers, the general manager maneuvers, who are we going to get? Why did we get them? What happened? All that. Drag racing doesn't have a ton of it. This was a big maneuver. How did it come about? Like, did Bob come to you? Did you guys go to Bob? Did it just come together? Was Ford involved? What can you share?
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't on my bingo card. And, in the later half of the season, my family had some conversation with John Force, and they did not go as planned or as we thought they were going to go. And it put us in a position to, look elsewhere. And, Bob Tasca offered to, keep my family together, keep us racing together. And that was the decision we made. I'm not going to go any further into that. I don't need to share, the internals of private conversations between my family and John Force Racing. But there was an opportunity for our family to continue racing together. And that's what we wanted as a family. And, like I said, I ride and die next to my family. And, I'm very grateful to be able to race with them. A lot of people dream of working with their family, dream of racing with their family. And I have that opportunity, and I never want to lose that. And, my family and this team, I think, can say the same.
I appreciate you answering all these questions. All right, your replacement or the Cornwell car over there at John Force Racing. For many years, you and Jordan Vandergriff, friends, rivals, competitors. We felt like back in the Top Fuel days, this could be a fun and exciting rivalry that could carry the sport into the next era. Everybody thinks back to Snake and Mongoose, right? Garlitz and Muldowney. Here, but it's got to be real, right? It can't just be two like bros that are cool. It's got to be real. All of a sudden, man, this is real. The John Force guys, they got Jordan. He's your friend. You guys came up together, but now he's in your old car. So first, I would like you to talk a little bit about like him as the replacement in that car and what that feels like, because you guys are so good friends. He stayed at your house, right? You guys are going over stats that motivated you on reaction times in the championship run. But now, after some, he's got to get used to the funny car. But once he does, how do you think that's going to go?
Yeah, no, first off, I'm very excited for Jordan Vandergriff. This is a great opportunity for him. And to be honest, when I made my decision that I was leaving, in my first thought was, I hope that an opportunity comes out of this for a young kid. And I hoped that it was going to be Jordan Vandergriff. I knew that he was at the top of John Force's list. And, when I left, I was crossing my fingers that he would get the opportunity. This sport needs more young blood out there. And like you said, me and Jordan are great friends, and I'm excited for this opportunity for him. He's gonna be a great asset to that team over there. He's gonna be a great asset to NHRA drag racing. And he's got a lot to learn. He hasn't made very many runs in a funny car, but he's doing his due diligence. I will help him however I need to, if he asks for any advice. But he's got plenty of great teachers over there. He's going to do just fine, and I look forward to lining up next to him. As the racing world knows, the racing gods like to add a little excitement. And I could almost guarantee you we'll probably race each other first round in Gainesville.
Right. That's just the way it is. But you know how important that is. Real and genuine rivalries in sports of any kind where people, it's not just about the prize money, right? Like there's a little something extra.
Yeah, no, I got asked this question earlier today, and are you going to be rivals? Well, when I put that helmet on, if there's 30 funny cars out there over the weekend, they're all my rivals. I want to whoop every one of them that I line up next to. So, will there be a little bit more incentive racing that car? Probably. But at the end of the day, I want to win. And whoever's lined up next to me, I want to take them out. So, they're all rivals, and Jordan Vandergrift's the new face, and he's added to the list.
Well, that's cool. I love it. I love that deal. All right, representing my audience, man, they're so good. They want to know what kind of parts you guys using, right? Is that DSR parts over there at Tasca? They want to know like the hard parts. At Force, you guys made your own. Which parts does Tasca use?
He has an assortment of everything in there, man. When we walked in the doors there, it is absolutely mind-boggling the amount of equipment that he has in that building. You name it, he's got it in there. So there's plenty of equipment in there. We're going through all of it, researching, doing our due diligence on trying to create the best engine and clutch combination that we possibly can. I'm not going to get into exactly what parts we're running, but there's going to be an assortment of all different parts on this race car. We're going to have to skin the cat different than we did over there. Like I said, you live in your own bubble, in your own world over in that building just because you do it all in house. So we're learning a lot. We're going to learn what's good, what's bad, and keep sifting through it until this Ford Performance Dark Horse starts ripping.
I love hearing that. Racing for a manufacturer. You've gone from part-time sponsors, Mr. Teague, to Cornwell, a corporation, and now you're racing for Ford. You were at the Ford announcement. This is a little bit different. I'll be honest with you, Austin. I logged into the live stream. I was slightly bummed for a twinge for a second that NHRA drag racing was not mentioned in their Ford Racing opening video. You were acknowledged in the crowd as like, welcome to the team. And then I kind of got over it. I thought like, all right, this is your task. This is your opportunity to carry drag racing with you onto that Ford stage and make drag racing a bigger, more acknowledged part, like off-road truck racing. Oh my God, they were so into the off-road trucks. What was it like being there? What has been your impression of Ford so far? And, I want drag racing to be a bigger part of Ford after watching that event. I want to know like what your take is.
Yeah, well, that was an amazing event. That was my first appearance at a Ford Racing event like that. And I can tell you one thing, there was no expense spared, and there was no they don't halfway things by any means. That thing was to the 10, and it was a really cool event. Everybody and their brother was there. There was celebrities there. I saw Barry Sanders in there. That was probably the coolest part for me, honestly. Wow. Barry Sanders, he's a legend of the sport, and always been one of my favorite football players. So that was really cool. But I can guarantee you one thing: we win the world championship, there will be a lot bigger display on that screen for you, Joe. Ford likes winners, and we're going to try and do that for them. That's why we're hired for the task, is to go out there and make this Ford Mustang fly and turn on win lights, go for another championship. And like I said, we're hard at it to make that possible for them. They're doing a lot for this, taking my family in, taking this team in, and we want to repay them that way.
What kind of car are you going to drive on the street?
A Ford Expedition.
Okay. Baller.
Yes.
Baller.
Stealth appearance, stealth performance package. It's going to be sweet.
75th season of NHRA drag racing. I missed your press conference because we were doing a production meeting about all the legends, all the things that are going to happen this season of drag racing. The Vice show is a huge deal. I know you want to perform well during this season. What does it mean to you to be able to compete in the 75th season of NHRA?
Well, it's a great opportunity. 75th year of NHRA drag racing. That's a big milestone for this sport, and I'm glad to be a part of it. It's exciting to have the 75th themed Wallies and medallions and everything else that goes along with it. I plan on adding those to the collection. But I really enjoy seeing, all the drivers nominated for the top 75 drivers. Robert Height got, picked as one of the top 75. That's a very cool accomplishment and very well deserved for Robert. So it's a good time to be alive. It's a good time to be driving a Nitro funny car. And I hope that, this 75th anniversary is one of the most exciting and entertaining years of all of NHRA drag racing. So it's shaping up to be that way. And hopefully it comes true.
At the end of every interview, maybe I didn't ask the thing you wanted to put out there. So what do you want to say to your fans, maybe the haters, or is there anything that I didn't get to that you find to be important that we need to let the world know right now?
I'd like to say thank you to Bob Tasca and Tasca Racing for believing in my family and giving us a great opportunity to continue racing together and, try and build a new dynasty of NHRA drag racing. So I'm really looking forward to continue putting in the work, putting in the effort, grinding in the shop with the race team and getting this thing loaded up and going to Gainesville test here in a few short weeks. So, that first time we fire this thing up and hear it cackle and go stand on the gas is going to be a really exciting time in this year, in this season. And I'm really looking forward to it. And following that, we're going to, go back to the shop, continue to put in the work and get it dialed in to go to Gainesville and get to, experience every inch of this Nitro racing with the race fans. I'm looking forward to getting out there. I'm looking forward to meeting some of my new fans and, seeing everybody else out there. It's going to be a great season. It's going to be a great year. And to start the 75th anniversary of the NHRA out like this, you're in for a treat.
I'm very excited about it. I'm hoping maybe there's a black car at some point during the year just to lean into it. Austin, please say hey to your family, obviously, including your mom. And thank you for coming on WFO Radio and doing this interview. I think we got to the important stuff, and we're going to have a whole season to follow you guys and watch how it goes. I'm sure we'll be talking. Maybe we'll get to see one of those Diamond Wallies on the air as well. But thank you for making the time for WFO Radio.
Awesome. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for having me. And everyone enjoy the rest of their week. See you soon.
See you soon. There, and congratulations on the engagement, by the way. That's a big deal. We don't want to lose that.
Yeah, it is a big deal. I'm very excited, and I love Kat. She's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's good to find someone. This is drag racing, right? Not everybody gets it. You got somebody who understands what they're getting into, which is a big deal.
For sure. Yeah, I'm a lot to put up with.
There it is. Way to go, Austin. Thank you.
See ya.
There goes Austin Prock with us here on WFO Radio. Subscribe, click the bell if you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're watching. This is what WFO is all about. This guy is attacking me for not asking and trying to worm out of the question. No, we're going to double back. If we got to throw some fastballs in there. But did you notice that Austin was prepared and willing and addressed everything, in my opinion, as best as he can to the media? And so I think that was a great job, and I'm very intrigued. And I think there were a couple of wrinkles there that are going to be very exciting to follow through. Guys, we'll get to your comments. We'll talk a little bit about the 75th anniversary of NHRA. I'll tell you about some of the things I just heard in the big press conference or in my scheduled meeting for announcers, the legends that are going to be there in the NHRA. But first, I want to tell you about HusseyPerformance.net. David Allen and the team. Not just copper head gaskets anymore, guys. David Allen and the team, they've got composite gaskets, oil pan, valve cover for you alcohol guys. They got it all. They do a contingency program in the alcohol ranks in the NHRA. They do some stuff in PDRA as well. Reach out to David and the team and tell them you heard about it right here on WFO Radio. They have put together a fantastic program, and they can get you squared away. 412-716-4872. That is HusseyPerformance.net. And for you Lucas Oil Series racers, Larice Motorsports Insurance. This is very important. Larice Motorsports Insurance, that you cover your race car. I just heard about another exemption. What's my job with, talk to Holden, Larice, about coming on WFO Radio, and everybody is insurance. What is the important thing to know? if you insure your racing operation with a mainstream macro brew style insurance company, they're going to write a whole bunch of exemptions into your policy. That's my job to tell you about. And one new one that we were made aware of, a racer, his car, went to a race and the car was parked at a friend's shop before going to the next race. How many times do you do that, right? Like when I brought my Project Pontiac to Dave and Sue Morris's house. Well, the thing caught on fire, not my car, but in this example, and the policy wouldn't cover it. It was an exemption. Sorry, that is not its normal storage location. You're not covered. And that's what doesn't happen with Larice Motorsports Insurance. You can go to their website, laricemotorsportsinsurance.com. You can reach out. You can get a quote. Call Jake, call Jeremy, call those guys. Be sure to mention WFO Radio. Tell them you heard about it. If you've got race fuel in your trailer, who doesn't have race fuel in their trailer? You might not be covered, depending on the company you're with. So reach out to Larice Motorsports Insurance. Cover your race team. Make sure you got it all. And that is fine for the folks at Larice. We'll be back with your comments after this.
Redline Oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Redline Oil, formulated to win.
Formulated to win.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Formulated to win, proven by me.
Proven by me.
Proven by me.
Redline Oil, formulated to win, proven by me.
Drag racing fans, check out Drag Race Bracket Bonanza. It's the free, family-friendly fantasy bracket game. Now, after final qualifying at every national event, you can fill out your bracket for all the pro classes.
It's free, easy to click on your picks. If you need some help, just hit the randomizer button to fill in the blanks. It's for fun, stay engaged, and pick your winners today.
Looking to replace your OEM diesel particulate filter or diesel oxidation catalyst? Look no further than DPF XFit, a complete line of aftermarket diesel particulate filters and diesel oxidation catalysts designed as an exact fit OEM replacement with all makes coverage for light, medium, and heavy-duty trucks. With thousands of units in stock, we ship the same or next day, and be sure to check out our comprehensive reverse OEM lookup tool. Always new, never remanufactured. For more information, be sure to visit dpfxfit.com. That's dpfxfit.com.
All right, let's go to the comments and the questions out there. Put them in the comment section, guys. Appreciate you all. New season, WFO Radio 2026, and I'm just very excited about what lies ahead. New drivers added to the top 75 list. It's all on NHRA.com, but Doug Coletta. Does anybody think that Doug Coletta does not belong in that list? Okay, and that's what's the tough deal. Adding 25 drivers to the top 75 list is really a brutal exercise. And going back to all the little debates that we've all had, Doug Coletta makes the list, right? Without question. Matt Hagan makes the list. In these 25 years, not even all 25, the guy's got 4 championships and over 50 wins. That kind of puts you on the list. Matt Hagan gets in there, still active. Jason Line with the 3 championships and 49 wins, I believe, is Jason's total. Jason Line was one of the faces of Pro Stock for so many years and willingly kind of stepped aside. You don't think that Jason Line could still be winning races? He certainly could. But, what has happened is Jason Line 2.0 has come around, and now Jason is like mostly irrelevant. That's the thing about Jason. Who, right? Jack Line's dad is really the way it is. Everybody loves Jack Line. That's Jason's son, Jack, who is, I am proud to say that I think his first ever interview, when Jack Line becomes like major, they're all going to be like, where was his first ever interview? And it was on WFO Radio. Jack was a kid. I had to ask his mom, like, can I interview this kid? An accomplished machinist, still a teenager, driving, getting experience. So yes, Jack Line's dad is going into the top 75. Eddie Krawick, come on, 4 championships. Eddie got, what's he got, like 40 wins? He's over 40. Maybe it's 42, 39, something like that. This is all in the story on NHRA.com. It's just not committed to memory. And then Sean Bellemere. For you Lucas Oil people who are like, man, we need a Lucas Oil Series racer in every bunch. So far, you've got one. Sean Bellemere. Let's see. Yeah. When you win 5 championships, you kind of make the top 75 list. But it's getting down. It's getting down to the wire now. We've got 15, only 10 more to go. And it's going to be pretty wild. Other news, John Schaefer announced as crew chief for Paul Lee's funny car. You may recall Johnny Lindbergh has gone over to John Force. That is going to be wild. Rockingham with their resurfacing is doing a great job on their social media. I feel close to Rockingham, having gone there and raced just a couple of months ago with Project Pontiac, certainly planning on it again next year. And I'm very excited about that track. They're doing a lot of resurfacing work. It's amazing. And remember, Chasing Speed on Vice Television Network. You can go to NHRA.com, and there is like a channel finder. They will help you find the channel. Race fans, if you love cars and drag racing and NHRA and all these years, last week I made a joke about how people are saying that they're not going to watch it because NHRA doesn't have a show on TV, right? Now, obviously, that's sarcastic, circular humor that I imagine many drag racing fans who post on the internet all the time might say something ridiculous like that, right? We got it now. Here's your chance. This is your drive to survive. Loans is staked his personal reputation upon this, and I believe him. I have not seen any of it. I have seen the hype clips, everything that you've seen, nothing that you haven't seen. We're going to experience this deal together. It's on Vice on Wednesday night, tomorrow if you're watching on Tuesday, tonight if you're watching on Wednesday, and last night if you're watching on Thursday. It's going to be on YouTube. Vice has got a channel, but I would do a watch party, man. I know it's Wednesday. It's kind of not quite the national championship game, but if you're an NHRA fan, let's get some hype on this, guys. Let's unify. Let's form like Voltron and push this one thing together. Austin Prock fans and Jordan Vandercryft fans, Ford fans and Chevy fans. Like this is, Vice has got a nice reach, guys. Vice has got a nice reach. You can get 10% of the people who watch the Vice show to watch the Fox show. That would be good. That would be a good thing. So Vice Television Network, go to NHRA.com, find the channel finder, just do some search. It's on Dish, it's on Direct, it's on Uverse. I've got it. It's everywhere. You can find it. Your friends got it. Watch the show. Watch the show. Or don't call yourself a fan like, oh, I'm a big fan of drag racing. I just wish ... This is the opportunity. This is the time. This is the time. Watch the show. Watch a show. Your homework is to watch a show. All right, let's see. Let's go to the comments. Malcolm Phillips, my bud, Pro Stock Motorcycle Racer. Hopefully we're going to see you out there, Malcolm. Go find money, baby. Go find money. All right. With all the Procs had with John Force Racing, what is there to be in a fallout? They seem to have everything. Right. So in Austin's interview, for the first time, to my knowledge, a wrinkle of a disagreement, like a reason, like we went into a meeting with an idea that we wanted something, and it was looking like we wouldn't be able to get that as related to racing with the whole family. And, you know, I don't know. My imagination can say, and this is just my imagination, right? Like maybe JFR wanted to separate Jimmy and Thomas and put Thomas on a different car or something. And they were like, no, we don't want to do that. We want to all race together. Like, I don't know. But that's something that we're going to have to continue to observe. The windshield is bigger for a reason. Look forward and press on. You will wreck if you're always looking back. That's wisdom right there from D-Rail. Yeah, I'm betting JFR wanted Jimmy on another tune other than Austin's for this coming year. Just my opinion. Yeah, Paul, right. Like, you know, this is not geopolitics. There's only so many things. Randy, age-wise, Bob Tasca is in his absolute prime. See, that's the thing. As a fan, and it's hard for me to not look at this as a fan, because that's why I'm doing what I do. That's why I, in sports media, there's a lot of avenues. IndyCar, NASCAR, college football, sports. But I want to work in drag racing because I love it. I am a fan of this. I hate losing Tasca. I hate it. I'm not emotional. I'm just funny. I don't hate it that much. I'm not going to cry about Tasca. But I love the guy. I work with Bob every Friday morning at the Yes program. I wonder, is he still going to do that? He's a very motivational character. He's a good guy. I spent a lot of time hearing his pitch to young people, but also talking to him about what matters to him. His dad, his uncle, that family, his boys, Terry, Mrs. Tasca, all good people. And I don't want to lose them as drivers, as competitors. So I understand what's going on here. Short notice, short time, take the car, go win races. But I really want Bob Tasca back. So I hope he's not retired. Hope you're not retired, Bob, as if you're watching this, by the way. 49 wins for Eddie. Thank you very much. Let's see. Just seeing how long AJ took to get Dougie going and Dickie with JR. They changed a lot of parts. Going to need a lot of runs. Like said, like this guy's predicting a mid-pack car. All right. Well, that is interesting. That is an interesting thing to think about. How long will it take Jimmy and Thomas and Austin to get this potpourri of parts? Now, you could look at it as a bad thing, or you could look at it as a good thing. That's your choice. Glass is half full, glass is half empty. Before they were, were they locked into JFR technology? Seems pretty good, but now they can get whatever they want. Interesting. South Georgia Motorsports Park in the house. What's up? Saying hi to Cooper City. Actually, in the Pines. We're very excited to come see you guys. I have already booked my travel, and I cannot wait to be a part of this national event at your track, South Georgia Motorsports Park. Super excited. Let's see. I'm glad Doug got in. Love Doug. John Schaefer is no longer with Ida, so I guess Ida is out. Well, John Schaefer has moved over to Paul Lee. Ida, to my knowledge, is still looking to put something together. I think Ida did a great job in her limited opportunities to drive. And it's why we got to all watch the Vice show, guys. That's the reason. I don't mind being a cheerleader, man. Apologist for the sport of drag racing, NHRA drag racing in particular, the major leagues. Cheerleader, however you want to say it. Yes. Vice show gets big ratings. Fox show gets big ratings. NHRA attracts more sponsors. Person like Ida gets ride. Is that algebra? Whatever that is, that's how it works. So let's lock in on Wednesday. Everybody watch. Just like that national championship game. Congratulations to IU, by the way. I know our racing community is based in Indiana, and you guys are enjoying your first national championship. I'm proud of my team. Canes. Scrappy number 10. Many did not believe they deserved to be in the tournament. And after that game last night, nobody thinks that, right? Going on the road, beating Texas, beating Ohio State, beating Ole Miss, and giving IU their most significant scare. I think that's clear. Great game, exciting, final play, driving to maybe win the game. Interception, game over, IU wins. We made a lot of mistakes. You can't make those kind of mistakes. So that's it. Congratulations, IU. Are you asking for unity? I'm asking for unity. Unity. WFO, defender of the drag strip. Let's see. Yeah. What's the reason? Had to be money. Well, what's wrong with that? Come on, man. Don't, let's say, why is the reason you're making this move? Money. It's the money. It's the money. I paid me a bunch of money. It's money. Well, it's a bunch of things, I'm sure. We'd have to hear it all, but that's not our business. But if the answer was just money, What's the problem with that? That's the way it is. You can't play it both ways. That's why I think this is a major league sport. That was a big free agent move. So we'll see. The rear glass in my pickup is pretty wide as well. Yeah. Could Force have wanted the Procs tuning Alexis's car to be the first female champion in funny car, says Len. Who knows? Maybe we'll see Tasca in the first 300 mile per hour. I think that's just ridiculous. The tide of electric has receded. That comment was made here on WFO radio 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we called that. We're all in on combustion. If you live in a small area where you're only going a couple miles, that's your business. Electric, that's fine. They're neat. I drove some recently, but I'm not, concerned. Let's see. It won't be on Jimmy. Look at his career, but yeah, there will be a few bumps in the path to another championship. Well, that is a hot topic. People will say if they don't win the championship, then it was a mistake. But it's not. They are excited to have this opportunity to race together. The Ford Racing deal. So as it was going on, I was frustrated because there was an open, first of all, I signed on to a live stream to watch this big deal, and I was very excited about it. I was watching Ford Racing. There were 12,000 people live on the stream. It was a big deal. Would love to have 12,000 live on this stream. Although the numbers keep going up. Thank you very much, WFO Radio. Subscribe, click the bell, enable notifications, follow us on Twitter or Instagram or X or wherever you can. Don't miss a show. A lot of good stuff happens on this show, in spite of me. In spite of me. But when the opening video of the Ford Racing thing came on and drag racing was not included, it was like Formula One and off-road and they're showcasing NASCAR, and they didn't say the words, the voiceover guy didn't say the word NHRA drag racing. I was annoyed. It was a gut punch to me. Ugh. And then when Austin wasn't like on the stage, like, welcome to Ford Racing, he was down there in the crowd with Bob, and they were just giving thumbs up, and he showed the ring. That bugged me. Bugged me a little. And so I spent some time reflecting, and I understand why. There should have been NHRA drag racing in the video as a tribute to Bob's efforts, Tasca's efforts. They did mention Chris Holbrook getting a win in Factory X. That was a big deal. But Austin's accomplishments are not their accomplishments. And so we'll just see, for those of you who are talking about that in the chat section, we'll see how this evolves. How it evolves. Latoya says, Latoya, you still hanging out with Mr. Hall of Fame McNeil? McNeil, right? Hall of Famer McNeil Freeman? Southeastern Division Hall of Fame. I'm going to Kansas on Friday for the Division 5 awards banquet. I'm super excited about that. We'll be inducting a Hall of Famer as well. Is that an app or a website, Joe? Vice? Unknown. Well, it's definitely a website. Do they have an app also? Don't know the answer to that. But yeah, I would say just go to their website. Paul Lee, has Paul Lee said how many races he will run? And the answer is, I do not believe he has made that. I think they're going to have a minimum and build from that. I spoke with Steve over there at the team during PRI, and they are filling out sponsorship, and they're trying to bring on sponsorship to run. Paul has run out of his pocket the past couple of years. It's really amazing what Paul has been able to do, but they had a lot of carnage last year. Showed me a couple of 55-gallon drums of like molten or metal aluminum that could be molten and repurposed because it was all blowed up and it just hurt him. So this guy says, who's your daddy? Yeah, we lost, The way I look at it, you get to the final round, you get beaten and you play tough. No shame in that. No shame in that. Well, if you can't beat them, then buy them. So smart. So smart. Like Nighthawk Racing and so many others have said it like it's a negative, but it's not a negative. It's smart. If Austin and Jimmy are the hottest product out there, and Bob Tasca has the financial resources to walk over there and get them to come over here, and Nighthawk, please answer this. And your point is, I would love for you to elaborate. Like, come back at me. Come at me, bro. No, but come back at me with and question mark. Joe, I think it's a bad thing for people to use their financial resources to accomplish their goals. That would be an answer. I would love to hear your retort in that. Why no pro race here? It is my knowledge that they didn't want to do it. Didn't want to do it, the pro race, because, I've heard every other year. I'm not probably the right person to ask about this. I would have liked to have gone to the pro race, though. They've got a lot going on there. Wes, with his races, that, the whole DI Winter Series is a big deal, so they're very active. My opinion, though, and pro organization members, if I'm incorrect about this, please set me straight. But when they did that, I think they wanted to showcase that it could be done. And they did. They did a great job. Everybody who went there had fun. But at the same time, I think many lessons were learned. Like, man, this is a lot of work and effort. A lot of work, time, effort put in. And I think that lesson was also learned. And so did they not want to do it? Did they want to do it next year? We'll just have to wait and see. And that's the story behind everything. Do you have what it takes to do it and sustain? Because you want to. Like, I do this show because I want to, because I can sustain it. That's why we don't have fancy production, because I can sustain. It may not be in 26, but it will be. It's Jimmy Prock. Look at his life career, says Paul. Right. Jimmy is really good. We love WFO. And that is an excellent moment for me to showcase this. Look at this. So it's like I got my WFO flask here, right? Like filled with Maker's Mark or whatever I am. Guys, I'll get back to your comments in a second. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. I love hearing what you guys have to say and really debating directly with the audience. Like, there's a lot of shows now, and I love and respect them all. Like Dujanay and Monday Morning Racer, and Wes has got his deal, and Brian has got his deal and everything. But like, just one-on-one, us hashing it out, talking it out, sports talk radio, punching up the callers for NHRA drag racing. It's not the most common thing. And so I am proud of it. I'm proud of that we can sit here and have these conversations. I think it makes WFO unique. Check this out. This is the Summit Racing Equipment catalog for January, February, and March, the start of the 2026 season. And you can purchase parts from Wilson Manifolds in the catalog, which is really neat. But for me, there is another layer of excitement. If you open up the catalog to the fold-out poster section, there's always a fold-out poster. I should probably just rip it out, but I'm not going to do that right now, even though I only have 2 boxes of this calendar. Check this out, guys. Check this out. Project Pontiac. Full 3-page feature in the Summit catalog. The car, photos by Rhonda McCole. I mean, you could see a better, look at that. A calendar, the car, the stats, Wilson Manifolds, Total Seal, Gary Stennett, Foggett, Harry Heads from Iowa, John Gadosh, so many people, Chris Straub Technologies, everybody that helped me. Couldn't get Fuel Factory in there. Thank you, Fuel Factory, the people who supply the fuel. But the story of my father and how he bought it brand new, and how it was a bracket car that lied dormant for 20 years, and how because of you, the WFO universe, our listener base, and the fact that we're doing the show on a regular basis, I was inspired by a few different people. Originally, Jason Line told me, get the car going. Get the car. Was it at the top end of Gainesville? Get the car going, Joe. It's like, that's like a hobby. That's like a toy. I should be working, Jason. It's like, but it is your work. Like, getting that car going is your work. It's like, okay. And then Kelly Wade helped me deal with that. Like, no, Joe, it is your work to get the car going. Think of how it'll help your announcing. And then obviously Gary Stinnett, Steve Williams, Lake Speed, and the Engine Performance Expo, Total Seal, those guys help make it possible. And then Summit Racing Equipment, featuring the deal, Dallas Glenn Pro Stock World Champion on the cover. And I am so proud. You might be able to see back there, the car has gotten some attention over the years. Guys, if you have a car and it ends up getting a feature attention and something that goes out to so many shops, I'm proud. I'm happy. I'm excited. My dad, he's somewhere, hopefully up in heaven, looking at this, and like all that maintenance that we did. And my friend Rick McDonough and Lee Neal and Corey Kramer, who like this year at this time, we were thrashing to make these races. And now it's in the Summit catalog. And also, Summit put a QR code to WFOradio.com. I hope to gain some new listeners out of this. Like, that will be great. And I just love it. So I'm so happy. And then at the end, this is kind of cool. This is like a bonus remix. I'm doing a live stream holding up a magazine. This is ironic. This is like an irony, technological irony, right? Look at this advertisement for Summit, and the car is in there. And look, that's me in there. Speechless, so happy, so proud. Like, man, now we got to get out there and go some rounds in Orlando. But thank you, Wilson Manifolds. Got a beautiful Wilson Manifold on there. Let's see what else. Ford show is a tad disappointing. Don't be disappointed. Let them grow. They didn't have a lot of positive stuff to talk about the drag racing season of 2025. They made a big move. Like the interview that I got, next interview is Tasca. Like, how did it come together? Let's see. End of the season, I hope Austin is able to shove that championship trophy up Ford's rear end. I don't understand that. Like, is that a good thing? Like, I don't know. I guess some people might think that's let's see. NHRA needs to go to New York, right? What does that mean? NHRA is going to New York tomorrow, New York Stock Exchange, Wednesday morning. Everybody watch. Look, everyone knows Ford screwed up by cutting John loose. Now they are hungry for a championship. I'm guessing Bob promised them a championship. Maybe, Prock will match Beetle in 26. Snake, Shepherd, Canning, Torrance in 27. Glidden in 20. Oh, really? He's going to win 5 consecutive? Oh, my gosh. So that is the clarion call to the rest of the category. Ron Capps, Matt Hagan. Are you guys going to just let this happen? You're going to let it happen? This guy says he will not be champ. You understand how good this is going to be? This guy. Troy, I'm behind on the comments. Frame that poster. Yeah, everybody frame that poster. Call Summit, order your catalog. Tell them the only reason you're ordering is because the car and the poster, and then frame it. Alan was on 2 shows ago. When can Alan go? Alan was on 2 shows ago. We checked in with Alan Reinhart right before the holidays. J.R. Gray was on. J.R. is over there in the Middle East, tearing it up. He and Stavrinos. Regarding the poster, how cool is that, Joe? AJ's trying to get his hands on one of those catalogs. Shouldn't be that tough. It's a catalog. They're free. Let's see. Montana Karting, Project Pontiac Pinup. Gonna have to track you down and get it signed. See, that's the thing. I am uncomfortable with that. Okay, here we go. When Austin Prock rolls in, wins titles, and prove the system works, teams like Tasca Racing say, fine, we'll just buy the whole damn operation. Is peak racing logic. Results talk, loyalty is optional. I assume that's going to be his next word. Yeah. Yeah. And? Way to go. Well deserved. We'll get back to your comments. Got to tell you about Bernie's Speed Shop, guys. Bernie's, 100,000 square feet. Josh Hart just sold all his Mopars, or a bunch of them, out there at Meekum. You can go to bernies.com and check out Josh Hart and what he has put together. I'm so excited about talking about Bernie's. I'm getting emotional. BURNYZZ. Speaking of John Force drivers, go to their website, check out their inventory. If you're looking to buy a classic or car of consequence, go to Bernie's. But also if you're looking to sell one, because they're always trying to increase their inventory. They sell e-bikes on the property, and this is where the fan fest is for the Gatornationals once again. BURNYZZ.com, Bernie's Speed Shop. And a big shout out to Jesse Converters and Total Seal Piston Rings and FTI Performance and Redline Oil and Hussey Performance and Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School. Thank you for sharing the show, Frank. Like, that was cool. Austin's on there and Frank is out there. He's on X reposting. If you've never driven a dragster, they make it easy with the Dragster Adventure. Go to frankhawley.com. You can drive a dragster. It's just super cool. It's one of the best things that they do, like people driving dragsters. Like, think about it. Look at this. How cool is that? And then my main man, Marvin Rodak, rodakscoffeeandgrills.com, 817-924-6821. Order a bag of coffee. For gosh sake, it's the best in the world. It's roasted fresh per your order. And he's a drag racer through and through. Remember the Rodax Cadillac at the Stampede of Speed? Yes, Marvin Rodak, 817-924-6821. And speaking of ordering, a can of Foggett from Summit Racing Equipment. Like, that's your membership into the WFO universe right there. Order a can of Foggett from summitracingequipment.com. Lots of good stuff going on. You know, we've added some Patreons in January. We do our big Patreon push for our VIP listener show, like the VIP top secret stuff. We didn't do a show last night because of the national championship, and I was just not capable of doing talk radio while watching the Canes. It's just not possible, right? Had a great time at South Beach. Elon's going to do Life's a Drag, but we'll be doing special shows, special content, inside information for the Patreons. Patreon.com/WFO radio. Join for a year or a significant, group, and I'll send you a t-shirt, please. And along with your patch and your stickers, and you get a bunch of WFO swag, man. It's not just the free stuff. You actually get physical stuff, assuming I send it out, which, that's always up for grabs. You never know. You never know. Let's see. Didn't Force spend a pile of money to hire Jimmy back from DSR? Yeah, I think since this is drag racing, everybody that participates spends a pile of money. Even me. But yes, he did. But then he was there, and then he left, and then he came back. We're going to have to get that little wrinkle. We have to get the wrinkle. Awesome show today. Joe, quit covering for Ford. That was embarrassing. 15-second max BS. Charlie, I'm not covering. I'm annoyed. I was annoyed in the moment. See, I don't care about anything about Austin not being on the stage and all of that. Like, I'm okay with that. I get it. It wasn't the most successful season. When and if he wins a championship, then I fully expect it. But those little opening videos about Ford racing, one clip and the mention of NHRA drag racing would have changed my whole attitude. How does that video, you got a multi-hour stream coming at you. It's not a TV show. It's a multi-hour stream. How does drag racing not make the video? That just twinged me. And, for Ford people, like for the executives that are all watching right now because of Austin and checking out the show for the very first time, hey, welcome. Drag racers and drag racing fans, we all feel that we are on a little bit of an island. Tony Stewart has said it. Drag racing is its own universe, obviously, because we do not turn. I'm sorry we're going so fast. It's really about acceleration. One of the true benchmarks of the average car, acceleration. We love it. It is what we think. We would just like to be included. Off-road, road course, NASCAR, Formula One, drag racing. We respect them all. But get it. It's all cool. Appreciate it. That bugged me. So this guy, this guy is not wrong. But what I'm doing is I'm allowing space next year. Will we be included? The Austin Prock factor. What will it be? What will it be? So we will see. We shall see. And that's pretty much it. If all it took was money, Colettas would win every year. They have no wants. Well, I believe we are currently in the status of the Colettas winning every year. Currently, 2 out of the last 3 in the top 2 each of the last 3 seasons. The favorites to go 1-2 in Top Fuel this year, Doug Coletta, Sean Langdon. They're getting the funny car up to speed, but money is a big part of it. And, you could say that that's a problem with NHRA drag racing. I wonder, the talent pool. We're seeing it in the NFL. Like every crew chief every head coach has been fired, right? The Miami Dolphins fired their head coach. The Bills firing their head coach. Like everybody's firing their head coach. Everybody's fired. They're all fired, right? But that the talent pool is pretty much, I don't want to say it's endless, but you've got the entire NCAA and you've got all the other teams and all their coordinators. So there's a very large talent pool from which to draw to replace these coaches. And they're not all going to hit. There's not going to be 10 Super Bowl winners at the end of next year. Some of them are not going to work out, and some of them may work out. But in Nitro drag racing, it is very different. Is it or is it not? It all depends. Wasting a season of NFL football, your players under contract, that is a loss. So if you put in a coach, like we just experienced with the Miami Dolphins, we basically lost 4 seasons. We thought Mike McDaniel was going to be the guy. We thought Tua Tagovailoa was going to be the quarterback. And we, were wrong. It didn't work out. It's a waste. So what is that worth? Well, they still made money selling tickets and selling apparel and all of that. If you're a Nitro team and you hand the reins to someone without enough experience, and they melt your program into a molten puddle, can you keep going, right? Can you keep going? The NFL, they're going to keep going. The Dolphins will keep going. Can a Nitro team keep going? So the talent pool is micro, and that needs to be addressed. If you had 2 more teams show up tomorrow, like who is going to crew chief these teams? And that having been said, we need more Dean Marinuses. Guys that are sharp, smart, who delve into this. And then why wouldn't they want to? Because it appears like these guys are getting paid pretty well. I am not able to do it pretty well. High financial barriers. Yeah, it's a big part of it. High financial barriers. So we will see. All right, guys, what's your homework? Watch the Vice show. Tomorrow is Wednesday. During the day, I believe the Life's a Drag guys are going to be gone. Elon was down here in Miami for the national championship. Such a great weekend. Notwithstanding the result of the game and IU winning and the Canes, coming up a little bit short, I had a blast. Went down to the Fan Fest, ran around, had a couple of wonderful meals, just really enjoyed having the entire world show up. Calvin Harris did a concert on the beach for free. The whole Miami is the quote. The whole Miami was there. It was crazy. 60,000 kids on the beach was really amazing. Really amazing. And that's what the College Football National Championship is all about. So I imagine Elon will be on Life's a Drag talking about his experience. I can tell you that the Amalie Motor Oil NHRA Gatornationals, not far away. Hopefully you've got your tickets and you're planning to be there. This is not an ordinary season. It's not. This is the season, the 75th anniversary of NHRA drag racing. Just Gainesville alone. Bob Fry, Garlitz, Gwynn, Joe Amato, they're all going to be at the Amalie Motor Oil NHRA Gatornationals. Jason Logan has emerged. We are on tomorrow. So we'll be talking, obviously, drag racing. You'll be talking national championship and talking about the new games that we'll be playing trackside with Jason Logan. Going to bring back some classics, which I'm excited. Focus on moving drivers up through the ranks from junior dragster, super comp, and finally top alcohol dragster, as shown by racer Sean Langdon. Nighthawk, that's not the problem. That's not the problem. Drivers ain't the problem. Drivers is more drivers than we know what to do with. No, sorry, it's just a fact. We got drivers out the wazoo. We need crew guys. We need crew chiefs. And most importantly, we need money. That's what we need. We got plenty of drivers. Drivers are everywhere. So we got to work on those other things. And equipment and a race trailer. Hey, you want to order a race trailer now? You'll get it in 2 years. What? Yeah. Those are the problems of drag racing. Drivers are never the problem. Sorry, drivers. The least difficult commodity. There's drivers everywhere. I'm a driver. You don't want to train me up to drive a Nitro car? You get some good interviews. Oh, man. I'll give you some wild interviews. You'll be on TV all the time. It might not always be for good reasons, but you'll be on TV all the time. So Life's a Drag on tomorrow. We ask you to subscribe, click the bell, all that stuff. Appreciate Austin Prock coming on the show. And a little just free-flowing conversation here with all you guys out there. Is Mission still doing the Too Fast, Too Tasty? Yes, to my knowledge. I don't know why you would even consider that that's not. And we got the Top Fuel call out at Gainesville. That's what we got on Saturday at Gainesville. Top Fuel call out. And Project Pontiac, hopefully going to be out at Orlando Speed World. First race, East Coast. Got 3 weeks consecutive going on here. Orlando, February 27th, that weekend. Followed by the Amalie Motor Oil NHRA Gatornationals. Followed by the Baby Gators, and the alcohol cars are going to be there. This person says, good luck, Austin. If you like Austin, you better circle the wagons. Like, this is what fandom is all about. You like this kid? You think he's a good kid? You like Jimmy Prock? All those John Force people are going to be against him. He's going to be wearing the black hat. He's going to be the bad guy, as far as those people are concerned. So you better buy the gear and be ready to represent. WFO gear, speaking of which, it's available. It is on sale. Go to the store. It's in the merch store. I dropped the link. Kinds of good stuff. You can even get a Project Pontiac shirt. Shout out to our friends at Wright Trailers. Did interviews with Justin Lamb and Darian Bosch. They are in our YouTube channel. The Parade of Champions. You can find it. Justin Lamb was great. Darian Bosch, Wright Trailers, top sports and world champ. We'll be getting a Hear It From Heiner episode. Oh, Michael Heiner's hot. There are some potential rules changes for next year. For 2027. So we shall see. All right, guys, appreciate you. Thank you for joining us on WFO Radio. Thanks to Austin Prock. First interview of the year. Don't think it'll be the last. Thanks, guys. WFO.